theater and I questioned if I even enjoyed watching movies anymore.
Okay, that
Oh
is
my God.
so rude.
I
Oh,
had the
Boogie
opposite
Nights.
experience.
Boogie Nights is after Licorice Pizza, so fourth. So
Okay.
yeah, I forgot about that one. And then
Hmm.
The Master fifth, and then Inherent Vice sixth.
Oh my God. That's quite the ranking.
He's
Punch Drunk
Perfect.
Love is my last one.
That's my number one.
Which might
That's
be
one of my
controversial.
all-time favorites.
Yeah.
Wow.
I know people really love it. It is not mine, but that's okay.
I'm also a huge Adam Sandler fan, so
Okay.
that leans into it as well.
Yeah, that makes
Just
sense.
the most bizarre ranking.
It is
All right.
bizarre.
Okay, I'm gonna tweet the link. All right. I don't like hosting. Do you want to go, Jacob? I don't want to say Ricky's
I don't
spiel.
want it.
Okay, you could do it. Okay, I'm tweeting it. So start talking.
Sophia can do it. She's hosted.
Oh my God. Okay.
I was going to say, do you want me to host?
Jacob is gonna do it. Go, Jacob.
Are we live? Oh my
Yes.
God.
Someone's watching. Go.
Wait.
Okay.
I don't know what we're doing, to be honest. Oscar predictions?
Yes.
Okay. Well, welcome to the Kinsey Oscar Big Board Show, where we're going to be talking Oscar predictions, I guess. I don't know. I didn't even know we were doing something tonight. I just heard.
Okay.
I heard, oh, you're going to be on tonight. And I said, yeah.
Stop. Okay. Welcome to another episode of Music City Drive-In. I'm Kinsey, and Ricky is not here. Therefore, Jacob is not hosting. But Jacob's here. How are you doing, Jacob?
I'm good.
You have your sweatshirt on?
I must. Oh, yeah, I do. Future Best Picture nominee. I used to, or no, not
have good taste in movies.
I didn't even realize I was doing something tonight, and when I did, I thought it was a Golden Globe reaction show. So I even put in that big like prediction thing. I was like, "Oh, come check us out after the show where we do a reaction to what the Golden Globes were."
Well,
and I had to go back and delete it.
Because there's no show, so it's kind of like I could do the same thing just with less of an audience. Do you know what I mean?
No, yeah, I get it. So yeah, so Kinsey said, Jacob, you're going to be on the show tonight. And I said, yeah. So there we are.
Whatever we were covering. Other than Jacob, we have a fellow Mini Cooper here with us, a fellow threadhead, just really good taste. I have Sophia from the Oscar Wilde podcast. How are you doing, Sophia?
Hi. I'm doing so well. I'm so excited to like finally meet you because I feel like you're like my film Twitter sister, fellow Mini Cooper.
Yeah, I feel the same way. Yeah, love it.
Yeah.
I always have the thread emoji in my recents because of like threads on Twitter. And then I was like, now it's in there because I keep saying Threadhead. And I'm like, that's a really old movie to like keep talking about and like an emoji take over my life. It's literally my number one emoji right now. And I'm like, that's such a random, like it has nothing to do with anything right now other than I guess Paul Thomas Anderson's like in the discussion, but like, I don't know. Can't stop talking about Phantom Thread.
I still can't stop talking about it. Never will. Same with Bradley Cooper. Just
literally,
always.
Same things. Literally, I will always remember it this way.
That should have been included in Best Original Song. We should have gotten both of those.
Song.
That's the one.
Mm-hmm.
That was the better song. That was the moment in the movie where I was like, this is movie making. And then they were like, we're going to take Shallow all the way. And Bradley Cooper is not going to win the only Oscar the movie's going to win. It's fine. Yeah. Literally, that movie's up for how many Oscars? Bradley Cooper's part of like 3 nominations. They're like, you know what? We're going to give it to the one he doesn't get an Oscar for. I'm like,
yeah, that was their way.
Wasn't he a writer on like some of the songs too? So if one of those
literally like 80% of the soundtrack, he's like at least a co-writer, and then they submit the one song he has nothing to do with, and that's the one that went.
It's like here, Mark Ronson instead, not Bradley Cooper.
I swear, was Mark Ronson dating Meryl Streep's daughter at that point?
No, I think he had like just gotten a divorce from his wife before. He and Meryl's daughter like just started dating pretty recently. I feel like it just came out of nowhere all of a sudden, like in quarantine.
Do you feel like he was like, I want another Oscar and like this is the way to go? Like
This is the way to have a cabinet full of them.
yeah, like maybe I won't get another one, but like I'll have access to them, like put them in the background. I wonder if she has like a china cabinet like full of all her.
I mean, she should. Let's hope she doesn't add another one to it this year.
To leave. When I finally figured out that formula to count how many times something was on that file, and I saw how many times I had "Don't Look Up" on the file, I was like, don't worry. My parents texted me last night asking me again if they could rent "Don't Look Up," and I was like, it's on Netflix. My mom texted me at like 11 p.m. It was like, that movie was so good. And I was like, oh my God. But they didn't watch the credit scenes. I didn't tell them to because
That's good.
I think they would have changed their opinion on the whole movie had they seen Meryl Streep with a tramp stamp.
That was really rough.
I love that Leo spoiled that because he did an interview and he was like, I think it was disrespectful to like show Meryl Streep with a tramp stamp. So the whole movie, I was like, when are they going to show her tramp stamp?
For it?
And then they were like talking about her nudes leaking or whatever. And I was like, are they going to show them? And then like, they just like moved on past that. And I was like, okay, Leo, like way to spoil a scene that's not in the movie. And then I turned it off. I didn't see the credit scenes. And then Jacob and Ricky were like, you have to keep watching it. And I was like, okay. And then I watched that one and then I turned it off. And they're like, what did you think of the second one? And I was like, second one?
They just never stopped.
Yeah, I was like, enough. Like,
no.
Enough.
I went to a screening of that and like it was, one of those like packed ones. It was like critics and a guild screening and it was like everyone was just sitting there. I wanted to leave so badly, but there was supposed to be a Q&A afterwards with McKay, but Darren Aronofsky was leading the Q&A. So it was like, I have to stay. I don't care about McKay, but I want to see Darren Aronofsky. And we get through those horrible end credit scenes and then they make an announcement and they're like, Darren couldn't be with us tonight. So we have like another moderator for the Q&A. And I was like, really? Like this is why I had to suffer through that. No, I just stayed because I was like in the middle of a row and then it was starting and McKay came out and it was this whole thing. It's like, I need someone to like airlift me out of here right now.
One time I left a Q&A because like I just felt like really like nauseous and I was like, do I get up? And I was like, I shouldn't get up when they're like introducing them. And then I was like stuck and they asked 3 questions and I was like, I've had like 3 iced coffees. Like I'm going to die.
Getting like those shakies. Yeah.
I just got up and left and it was Jason Schwartzman was moderating it. I don't even remember what movie it was for. Oh, you know what? It was for Her Smell. And Jason Schwartzman was moderating it. I had no idea how short he was. He's moderating it and he like looks up and he's like, all the short people are leaving, huh? And I was like, and I just kept walking. What are you gonna do?
Oh my God.
It was awful. And then I saw him when I was paying for my parking and I was like, cool Q&A. And he was like, are you the one that left? And I was like, no.
No,
not
me. Promise.
Did you not see me?
No. It was supposed to be like Elizabeth Moss and she didn't show up. And then it was just the director, and which was fine, but I had just seen him at another Q&A for Her Smell, and I was like, you're just gonna answer the same questions, and I don't feel good. It was but Darren's my favorite director, so I would have been really upset if I suffered through that.
I like him too, so I was hoping, but it was a big letdown just all around that night.
And then Adam McKay's like, if you didn't like my movie, you don't care about the planet.
It was a really wild Q&A. I felt like I was on another planet for it because the way they were talking was just like, I felt like I watched a different movie than what they were describing.
Wait, do you like that movie?
No, I gave it, I think it's like a 1-star movie for me. Like it would be, if it won Best Picture, it would be in like the top 10 worst maybe of all time.
Okay. So the last time I did a podcast with Jacob, and Ricky, I was like, I'm so sorry, because I knew Ricky liked it. And I was like, I'm so sorry. It was the worst movie of the year for me. And everyone was like, I like that movie. And I was like,
Oh.
I would pay to unsee it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I went into it being like, it can't be worse than Vice.
Uh-huh.
And then I was like watching it, and I was like, I've been watching this for 3 hours. Like, it's almost over. And I realized there was an hour and a half left. And I was like, okay. And I just want to say, I'm a huge lover of really long movies. Like, I wish movies were longer. I don't like 90-minute movies. I want them to be long.
Uh-huh.
And I was excited when I saw the runtime on it. I was like, cool. I don't have to think about what I'm watching next. And then it just wouldn't end. And then nothing was happening. And then and you know, it's wild. When the trailer came out, I hated Jonah Hill in it. I was like, he's obnoxious. He's annoying. I feel like this is wrong. He was the only thing I liked in the whole movie. I was so excited to have Jennifer Lawrence back. Hated her in the movie. I hated the way she was written in the movie. I liked her in the movie. I just didn't like the way she was written.
Yeah, I'm just worried. Like, I'm worried that Adam McKay is going to be her new David O. Russell. Like, she's just, and I'm like, please work with someone else. Like, I like you. I want the best for you. But I
was just so excited for her, and then I don't know, man. Jacob's like, I love this movie.
I'm sorry.
Jacob, no. You have Sophia, who also loves licorice pizza.
Yes.
Yep. We're here together. I mean, licorice pizza is hard because it's like, I mean, obviously it's just there are things in it, obviously, that like I wouldn't ever condone in my real life and like don't. But I think the way that the movie goes, I am like, yes, like certain elements of this movie, like absolutely, like no thank you, racism, age gaps, all of that, like not for me in my personal life or shouldn't be for anyone. But I think in the movie, I try to like understand, I guess, why they're being used that way, especially like with the racism. I really like the racist joke. I just think he should have cut it, to be honest. But the age gap, I'm trying to think about it with a little bit more nuance. I think I did have a lot of trouble with Red Rocket, though. I will say that one. I was like, I wanted to leave.
Of watching Red Rocket the morning I was going to go see Licorice Pizza. Like, I woke up and I watched Red Rocket, and then I was going to go see Licorice Pizza at night. And because my birthday's on Christmas, and since I have a baby, going to a movie is like I plan it 3 weeks in advance. Like, it's a whole thing. So that was my birthday present. I was going to go see Licorice Pizza at night, not like 10 a.m. Like, knock it out of the... So I woke up and I was like, I'm going to watch Red Rocket. And I was like, I will be honest, I did not finish Red Rocket because I was like, this is like, it's morally like wrong, like the movie. Like, and this is like the way I've been trying to talk about Licorice Pizza, because I like Licorice Pizza. I think it's a really good movie. I just like can't personally get past the age gap and past like the racist joke. And so it like made it not in my top 10 for the year. But had that stuff not been part of it, it definitely would have been. But the thing about Licorice Pizza is I don't feel like the story or like the relationship is like morally like wrong. Whereas like in Red Rocket, like it is.
Yeah.
And the way he like goes about the relationship is like saying it's okay and like it's not wrong. He's like kind of yelling at you about like you saying it's wrong. And I just like, it made me feel physically sick. And like, I don't know. And the other thing is, I don't think the characters are like charming the way they are in like Licorice Pizza, where you're like, I kind of forget about like what their gap or whatever. And it's just like, it was rough. Red Rocket was like, and I was so excited about Red Rocket. Like, I was so excited. And then I was just like, oh my God, I can't even like finish it. Like, I don't know. And I'm not a very big, like, don't finish a movie person. Like, I've never really done that. But I was like, I can't do this. Like,
yeah. And talk about a movie that felt long. I mean, that one I think felt really long.
I thought I watched like at least half, and then I found out there was so much more of what I turned off. I was like, oh my God, like,
right. It's hard too because
an editor, like a better
a
Thelma.
A Thelma. Oh, the
Yeah,
queen.
Thelma.
And like
Just-
the Irishman, make it longer. Like great.
My husband, I saw The Irishman in theaters by myself, and my husband dropped me off because I didn't want to pay for parking. So my husband dropped me off, and he picked me up. And when he dropped me off, it was like really light out. When he picked me up, it was really dark out. I felt like I was gone for an hour. He's like, I went to Target, I went to the grocery store, all this stuff. I was like, okay. We watched it at home. I was like, I could have watched it 3 more times in a row. My husband's like, that's the longest fucking movie I've ever seen. Keep in mind, my husband's favorite movie is like Eyes Wide Shut, which is how long? Like
Also long,
like,
yeah.
What are we? What?
Another good one.
But but he doesn't like The Irishman. He thinks it's way too long. And I'm like, that's the perfect example of a movie not feeling its runtime. Like,
oh yeah. And you're supposed to feel it. Like at the end, it
yeah,
just
like,
is like
the way
a life
life
lived.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's literally like the movie's about life and how long it is.
Yes.
And I'm like, that's what I don't know.
It's so
the same
good.
thing with
I
like
love it.
Zodiac.
That's another like perfect movie. One of my favorite Finchers. I love Fincher too. Like
too.
Gone Girl even could be longer, whatever. Just like give it to me 4 hours.
I watched Girl with the Dragon Tattoo last night, which got that surprise best editing nom. And I was like, this movie could be 7 hours long and I would watch all of it.
Yeah.
I mean, it should have been a trilogy, but here we are.
I know. Mank was good too. So
Jacob, do you hear that?
Yes, I know.
Okay.
We needed her last year.
Yeah. Yeah. Everyone.
Are you a Mank person? Are you guys both Mank people or no?
I love
Mank.
I really love it. Yeah.
Yes. Oh my God. It like made me really like just feel a lot when I went to see it. I like saw it in a theater. It was one of my like the only movies I went to see in a theater during the pandemic at all because I like checked the reserved seats and I would have been the only person in the theater. So I went and it was just a magical experience all around. I loved it.
I'm so jealous. I saw it at home. It was like when LA like shut down again and like all the theaters like closed again. And I was like, you can't just let me like by myself see it.
Let me just like rent a theater by myself to see Mank.
Yeah, everybody hated Mank last year. I was like,
I know. I was like, have a little fun.
Remember when they released the trailer and I was like, oh my God, David Fincher's going to win his Best Director Oscar. What a sad.
I thought the same thing.
Yeah.
I
thought the same thing the whole time until like the last second.
Yeah, you were like very like still to the end. He was still saying it.
Because I thought cinematography and director were gonna flip flop.
Why not? Oh.
And then when Mank won cinematography, I was like, oh well, that's it for him.
He's doing the cinematography again, right? For the new one with Michael Fassbender?
I think so. I'm
like
pretty sure he is.
I feel bad. I don't know his name right now. Every time I forget something.
Eric Messerschmidt.
Yes.
That's it.
Every time I forget something, I'm like, I have a baby. It's my first pandemic. I like have
those are good excuses.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it's my first pandemic to like probably 2030. Yeah, probably. Okay, I'm gonna actually segue to what we're supposed to talk about. Speaking of black and white movies, there we go. That was good. Best Picture. I have only one black and white movie. Yeah. But the film I wish would be in the nominations is Come On, Come On. I don't know if because I have a child that I watched that movie and like I just like fell apart. But it's just, and I don't like happy movies, clearly. Like David Fincher and Darren Aronofsky are my favorite filmmakers. I do not like happy movies.
Wait. But, you're allowed to not like movies that make you happy? That's what people want to see. Life sucks, right, Kenzie?
Oh, I'm a darkness in my movies person.
Same. Kenzie and I talked a lot about it.
I don't know how you show comment. Oh, there. Hi, Eric.
Oh, hi, Eric.
Hi. Another icon. Yeah, I really like heavy, awful movies. Like I don't want to walk away feeling great, I guess. But come on, it like devastated me, like in the best way possible. And then like when you guys told me that the interviews were really like real, I was like, I'm just gonna go cry for 3 more hours. I don't know. I just feel like it's such a. I feel like that movie was necessary to be black and white. Like I don't feel like they made it and they were like, oh, we should make it black and white. Like it really like felt special in black and white and like that was intentional. And I feel like Joaquin Phoenix is better in it than he was in Joker. I'm very sorry to all the Joker. Do they have a fan base name? I don't know.
I don't.
Incels.
They're probably not watching anything that I'm a part of.
Yeah, I just did a Robert Pattinson episode talking about the Batman, and I had to not. We just didn't say the word Joker. Like
that's good.
Yeah.
I mean, Heath Ledger was it, so
yeah,
we're just gonna pretend that didn't happen.
I rewatched that recently, and I was like laughing at him, and I felt really sad afterwards that I was laughing. But he was really funny, like just so funny. But come on. It was just I think it should get a Best Picture nomination, especially given this is the first year where like 10 is like enforced again. It's not in my 10, but that's what I would add in if I could. Jacob?
Yeah, I agree. No, I agree. I actually, for most of the movie, I was like, I am fine with this being black and white, but I could see it being in color. It was like until like the very end when they were out in that like wilderness almost and they had that like screaming battle. I was like, okay, now this makes a lot of sense. Like it wasn't like the French Dispatch had some of like the most useless black and white I've ever seen in my entire life, because like I felt like they were trying to do something to where it was like, okay, when they were talking about the old timey news, it was black and white, and then when they were into like the new timey news, it was color. But then they would talk about the new timey news in black and white, and I was just But I am a big fan of black and white movies, and I love Come On, and I do wish it was getting more love for Best Picture. I think it's probably Joaquin Phoenix's my second favorite performance from him behind Walk the Line, but that's like one of my all-time like favorite performances is him as Johnny Cash. And yeah, I definitely think it was better than what he did in Joker. It was so funny though, because like me and like 7 other people, when we left the movie, we were like, it's so funny watching Joaquin Phoenix in this, knowing that like that's probably not his like real life personality at all. Like not that like heartwarming, like, you know, lovey type of person.
But I do wonder if, because 1, he named his son River. 2, now he has a kid. I do wonder if he like did something like this on purpose now, like because maybe he wants to be more like that or something. Not that I'm claiming to know what he's like in real life. Like he could be like that, but like I just feel like maybe like that change, because like that's definitely like changed the way I watch movies. Like it's like an indescribable thing, and especially because he named his kid something so sentimental for him. Like I read that and I like burst into tears, so I can't imagine like physically doing something like that. But like,
also, where does this rank in your Mike Mills like family trilogy?
I've been trying to think of that because 20th Century Women is like a perfect movie, and I think about it literally every day. It's also for some reason like the only A24 screenplay book I don't have, which is so bizarre. But it's because when it came out, I was like, I have to stop spending money. But like, I bought the Ladybird one, so I don't know what I'm talking about.
I have the Ladybird one like right behind me. It's the best.
They're not the best quality, but I love them so much.
Yeah.
I don't know where it would rank, but it's like the first like happy movie I've watched in so long where I like burst into tears. So like it's definitely like high for me because when they started screaming, I was like, oh my God. And then when you guys told me the interviews were real, I just like, it was too much. Like, and I just feel like maybe it's getting left behind because there's so many black and white movies this year, it feels like. But like, I don't know. When I watched Belfast, I was like, I love Belfast. And then I've kind of like not thought about it since I watched it. And I'm like, maybe I don't know. It's one of those whole, you know, like the Oscars always do those, the power of movies things. And you're like, okay. I feel like that's what the whole movie was. I don't know. Like, I feel like that's what like made me like interested. And then like, I was like, but I don't know where my family is from in Ireland, but like my grandparents like came here from Ireland. I'm like, I wonder what my dad thinks of this movie. I feel like he would literally like it.
That's the one I'm like very eager for my parents to see because like usually they can kind of tell me how the Academy is going. I always like pay
Yeah.
attention to their reactions. So that one I'm really curious about. I felt like the same way when I saw it. I actually was like, this is a good time. Like it's
Yeah.
not some like art house like amazing thing, but I was like, I loved the scenes when they went to the movie theater, like Jamie Dornan singing Everlasting Love, like it
So
warmed my heart.
charming.
And I usually don't like anything like that at all.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like since seeing it, and it doesn't have to do with its like best picture frontrunner status or like the awards it's winning. I don't think at all. It's just I don't think about it ever. It's like that Don
Yeah.
Draper, like I don't think about you at all.
That's because like so Ricky is the first person I talked to after I saw it, and I was like, I loved it so much, and I really did. Like I really loved it. But like I haven't thought about it. And I'm like, I feel like that's important with a Best Picture winner.
Mhm.
Especially because like I feel like the last two I'm like I think about pretty often. So I'm like they're on this like good path of like you can tell the new people they inducted to the Academy like are making a difference and I'm just like, but I haven't thought about Belfast. Like I wouldn't be mad if it won. I don't know. I don't think about it. I don't even make jokes about it is the other thing. Like I want a Best Picture winner that I either love and I'm like, this is a Best Picture winner worthy, or I can at least make jokes about. Like I won't lie to you guys. I still haven't seen Green Book. I don't know.
And you still shouldn't.
No.
Yeah, that's the thing. Every time I think about it, I'm like, you know what? I'm kind of fucking up. Like I gotta see it. I just don't. I'm not going to pay money for it. One, it's never on streaming anything. I'm not going to pay money for it. Two, like, I don't care. And like, I feel bad because I love Mahershala Ali like so much. Thank you, David Fincher. But like, I don't know. I don't care to. But I can make jokes
just watch
about
Moonlight
that
again. Yeah.
Every time I've thought about it, I really like watch that again. And I'm like, this is kind of like, just it's such a good winner, guys. It's such a good winner. Like, how could they do that? Like, how could you go from what crazy people? What crazy people? Literally. Remember when Julia Roberts said it and we were just like, what the fuck? It's like the opposite of when Jane Fonda said Parasite.
Exact opposite. And Jane Fonda's like perfect pause when she's
perfect
like
pause. Perfect person to announce that. Yes. Yes. I feel bad that I haven't seen it because like I see them all, but like that was another thing. My parents were like, it was really good. They were like, I understand what everyone's talking about. It was really good. And I'm like, like my parents really like Don't Look Up. So that really worries me. But unlike Sophia's dad, my parents really like The Lost Daughter. My parents were really into The Lost Daughter. My parents are very Olivia Colman trained. Like they're watching Landscapers. They really loved her in The Crown. Like really into it. I was really embarrassed when my parents saw The Favorite. I like didn't know how to talk to them afterwards. And they like called me and I was like, that's such a bad sign if they call me when they leave a movie theater. Like, oh my God. And they were like, we loved it. It was so funny. They were like, why are all period pieces like this? And I was like, God. Don't bring up anything specific and we're totally fine.
Yeah. I had the same experience with that movie. Like I thought my parents, I was like, maybe they're not going to like it. Maybe we're not going to talk about this one. And they saw it without like telling me they were going to see it. So I didn't even know it was coming and they loved it, which was just so funny. So my dad was like very much on the Rachel Weisz should win train after that movie. And then I think they wanted Glenn to have her kind of like career Oscar, but they were happy with Olivia winning that year.
That was like one of the first Oscar conversations I ever remember having with my mom. My mom was queen of showing me movies that were way too inappropriate for me. She showed me Fatal Attraction when I was like 4 or 5. It was before I was in kindergarten.
Oh my God.
And she's like, imagine she didn't win an Oscar. And I was like, what's an Oscar? Like, I don't know. But then she was like, Cher has an Oscar. And I was like, I love Cher. And she was like, would you take it away from Cher? And I was like, what did she win for? And then we watched Moonstruck. And that was like the beginning of me watching Oscar movies. But I was way too young, like way too young. But like my parents were
God.
really like, yes, Eric, a very great mom.
Mhm.
I mean, Daisy's first movie was Zodiac.
Oh my God, that's great. My like first Oscar movie that I remember watching where I was like, I should not be watching this was Silence of the Lambs. I was
Oh
in
my
second
God.
grade. Yeah, like way too young because my parents are like that too. They're just kind of like, you can watch whatever because they wanted to watch the movie and
Yeah.
my sister and I were around, so they were like, here, just watch
Yeah.
this. Like especially like serial killer anything and horror.
That's
Oh my God,
amazing.
watched
Yeah.
way too young.
When I was in second grade, I'll never forget it because it's the only time my whole life I got sent to the principal's office. We were doing like introduction to the class, and I was like, my favorite movie is The Exorcist. And they
That's
were
so
like,
good.
I don't remember anything that happened. I just remember getting sent to the principal's office and getting sent home. And I was like, what did I do? My mom was like, you can't tell people you watch stuff like that. And I was like, then why do you show it to me? Like, it was a whole thing. And then I remember because when The Matrix came out, they rented it like when it came out like on DVD, like I think it was still VHS. I don't remember, but I remember they rented it.
Probably.
And I had a friend over and they were like, we'll show it to you, but you cannot tell your parents. And I remember when the girl's parents came to pick her up, she was like, we watched The Matrix. It was so cool. So, but like, that's like the kind of mom I want to be, I guess, you know? Like,
Yeah, no,
I mean,
you
we
should.
watched Vox Lux and Girl with the Dragon Tattoo last night, so I feel like I don't know. She's gonna either come out and be like, movies are so cool, or be like, my mom is weird, but you know.
I think she'll appreciate it. I think that's great.
Tick Tick Boom was the first movie I saw her paying attention to, like the screen. I don't know if it was like the music or like just like there's a lot of movement, I guess. But she was really feeling that. That's my 10. That's the one I feel like could fall out or like.
Yeah.
What do you
I'm
guys
struggling with that one. I have it. It's my 9 right now, but I just don't. I don't know. I think that it had like a pretty good showing, like with the short list, like being there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's one of those like I don't know if voters think this way, but I keep looking at my list and I'm like, really, are they going to put all of these Netflix movies here? Because I was tempted to put The Lost Daughter in too. Yeah, but I was like, I just don't know if they think that way. And Tick Tick Boom, I feel like it does have like a lot of support in the industry. It's has a strong performance. I think Andrew Garfield is like one of the most delightful people and is out there everywhere campaigning. But I wonder if with West Side Story, that's going to kind of take away any kind of musical support from Tick Tick Boom.
Yeah, and like there's like the thing I was thinking, like, are there too many musicals?
Mm-hmm.
Or is it too much Netflix? Because like, you know, when Roma was the thing, that was like very much a thing. Like, we don't want to reward a streamer. It was a huge conversation. Obviously, it's not anymore, like as anywhere near a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if they think like that. But the musical thing is something I definitely like think about. But then I'm like, they probably really love Lin-Manuel Miranda. So I don't know. And like, what a year for Lin-Manuel Miranda with like movies, not like, I don't know. But I think like it's either going to do like 7 nominations or it's going to get like 3. Like,
yeah,
it's either going to have a very good morning or a very like bad morning.
Mm-hmm. It's giving me shades of like One Night in Miami a little bit.
Yeah, I definitely feel that. And that was Amazon, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
And it got a lot of like support. I feel like early on, people were even thinking like maybe Regina King can get in, and then it just wasn't there. But I think with 10, we have more room.
Yeah, Regina's like so liked, and like that movie kind of like fizzled.
Mm-hmm. That's a
really
season.
Good comparison. That season felt like 10 years long. But then Regina like opened the Oscars. Remember, she had that really long walk, and I'm like, can you put her in every Steven Soderbergh movie ever? And
yeah,
he just keeps making movies, and she's not in them.
Yeah, he needs to get her in like an HBO Max, one of those deals that he has going, I feel like.
Okay,
but
everyone's
those,
making fun of me, but I really liked No Sudden Move, like a lot. I won't lie, that was the first movie I watched when I was pregnant, when I really felt that I was pregnant, and I fell asleep
Uh-huh.
and I turned it off. But then I watched it like in full the next day, and I was like, I don't know if it was like the ensemble, but I just feel like he has such a way with like actors. Even if like
Mhm.
it's a mediocre movie, I'm like, I really like this movie.
I thought it was
Ah,
good too. I liked it. It was
what a cast!
solid. Hmm.
What a cast! And Brendan Fraser.
He's
Brendan
coming
Fraser.
back next year. Next
Yeah,
year is
Yeah.
going to be his
next
year.
year we're gonna. Yeah, I'm so excited. You have Tick Tick Boom Hi, Jacob, right?
I have it 9.
Oh,
I
okay.
I
So
think like
you
9
think it's
up is pretty safe-ish,
what's
but
your
it's like
9?
Tick Tick Boom.
No, like your
Oh, so like Tick Tick Boom. Well, the one thing you guys were saying with musicals, Coda is also very music based,
that's
and
the
so
other
that's another
thing
thing
I
where
was
Mhm.
thinking.
I'm like
And
this,
that's probably getting an original song nomination.
mhm.
So like
And
music will be like on the brain with that one, like no matter
yeah,
what.
that's the thing though. Like with Coda and Tick Tick Boom, I saw Coda in Sundance, and I left that saying like, I hope this gets like some love, but it's not getting Oscars because it's like way too lighthearted.
Mhm.
It's just not what people like think of being an Oscar film. It had a super early release date, literally like the first week of August. But I just think that once you get past like West Side Story, which is my number 6, once you get past that, it just drops off a lot, in my opinion. And that's why, like, Coda and Tick Tick Boom, which I also didn't have, like, when I left, I didn't think this is like a Best Picture nominee.
Yeah.
Even though it's like my number 4 of the year, I was never like, oh, like, this is it. But it just drops off so much that those two are starting to feel more and more likely because it's like after my 9, you've got like Being the Ricardos, which I don't think is going to get in. Nightmare Alley, which didn't do
Don't
much
remind me.
unless it gets like a lot below the line. You know, Come On's not getting in. Sorry. The Lost Daughter again. Like I
The
think if it
Lost
comes down to
Daughter,
the
it's
Lost
gonna
Daughter
have
or
like a Good Morning or like 2 nominations.
I
Mhm.
think the Lost Daughter could be like the sole screenplay nomination and just get.
You
Oh,
don't think
no,
Olivia?
Olivia.
I think she could miss, but I think The Lost Daughter and Come On are the two movies where I'm like, okay, this could just be like the sole screenplay nomination. And then Tragedy of Macbeth's not getting a Best Picture nomination either. So it's
Okay.
like,
I rewatched Tragedy of Macbeth and I am absolutely furious it's not in most categories.
it should
Okay.
be the cinematography winner, in my
I
opinion.
Yeah.
also think Angela Bassett should have been Lady Macbeth.
Yeah, I mean that would have been like pretty incredible. I feel like I liked Frances in it. I think she brought like a new perspective to Lady Macbeth that I haven't
Yeah.
seen before. I'm also an English teacher and I've like taught Macbeth and I this movie is a godsend to English teachers everywhere. Like we are all so happy that this exists and it should be nominated for like so many things. I have it in my 10 right now. Just because they love the Coens. So
They
I
love
just like
them.
with 10 spots, I don't know because like the other ones I just like I'm not willing to like pull a trigger for a super creative pick like Spider-Man No Way Home or even Drive My Car. Like I just don't
I have Drive
feel
My
it.
Car as 9,
Mhm.
but I moved it up after it like all these like Best Picture wins recently with critics, which I know don't really translate to anything, but like they're being talked about. It's being talked about a
Mhm.
lot, so I'm like I
Yeah.
moved it up. But okay, so Tragedy of Macbeth, I kind of feel like the same way I felt about Phantom Thread. You know, in like Phantom Thread, like we woke up and it was like, oh my god, it has so many
Uh-huh.
nominations, like Best Picture, Best Director. It was like
Yeah.
wild.
6. It was the best.
Like Leslie Manville showed up. I was like,
Right.
wow, like this was like what I
Mhm.
wanted, but like I didn't expect it. I could see Tragedy of Macbeth doing that just because like he's Joel Cohen. Like, you know,
Mhm.
like it's Frances McDormand. Like she won the Oscar last year. Like
Yeah.
that was like
Denzel.
I
I
would
just don't know how many
love.
people are like gonna get through. We had people from like the sound branch leave our screening, and so it didn't get the sound nomination, of course. And so it's like I just don't know how many people are going to stay the whole time.
I'm curious what my parents think. I know that sounds like really weird, but it's like they're like that age, and like if. But I'm confident they loved The Lost Daughter, and I thought they would hate it. And I really thought they would hate it because like I'm a new mom, and they'd be like,
oh yeah.
But my parents are big fans of like the Johnson Banderas family tree. So it's kind of like they just love Olivia so much. I can't believe you don't think Olivia's getting in.
Yeah,
Me?
Yeah.
I saying I think she could miss. Do I have her in right now? Yeah, I have her in right now. She's my 5 right now. But I'm saying she
5?
could. Yeah, she could miss.
I have her as 1.
I do too. I have her winning again.
Yeah.
I still have Kristen Stewart.
Okay.
So
my thing is, everyone who knows me knows Jackie. I would have given Jackie Best Picture. Like, I love Jackie so much. It's one of the best movies I've ever seen. Thank you, Eric. I'm so bad at this, guys. Sorry. Thank you. Thank you. I'm not even going to hide it.
I have her in.
You have her 5.
Yeah. Well,
the thing is, 1, she's clearly really well liked. Like, enough to where we were like, Glenn Close showed up in gold. Okay? Like, she was like, I'm going to wear gold. I'm winning. And then we're like, Olivia Colman. That movie, like, yes, it was heavily nominated, but like it was a vulgar comedy and a period. Like, it had all this stuff going against it. And they were like, you know what? No, she's winning. Like, do you know how many of those lines do you know how many clips they probably were like, we can't use that as her Oscar clip. We can't use that as her Oscar clip. But she still won. I just think like, and that movie, like, she plays like the hardest character in the world to watch, but like you like her. Oh, Kristen is winning. Interesting.
I don't know, Eric. I think with Kristen, I think we will know with BAFTA, because I feel like an American playing Diana, I think that 1, that movie's polarizing, and 2, I think she hasn't won like a big award yet.
It's just been critics.
She's been winning like little critics prizes, and she's collected a ton of them. Like, she has amassed like a good amount, but like LA, New York, like she missed those. Those went to Lady Gaga and Penelope Cruz, who could also show up. I actually have them both in right now.
Ooh, you do? What is your 5?
So my 5 right now, I have Olivia Colman, Kristen Stewart, Lady Gaga, Penelope Cruz, and Alana Haim. I have this like feeling that Chastain is going to miss. I don't know what it is. I just like, I know that, she has been campaigning harder than nearly anybody. That wild Christmas video she had, but it's just like, 1, that movie came out so long ago. It didn't really make any money. She's not really getting a lot of the like splashy events that would be good indicators for us to know if that performance is really catching on. And okay, Olivia has won the Gotham, and that's it. Yes. Okay. I think that the thing though is like Olivia, this role I can see like I don't know. I think with Stewart, I know a lot of people personally who don't like the performance.
I'm curious, 1, if she's nominated at BAFTA, 2, if she wins. Prince William will be there.
Yeah, he will. Which would be cool if she ended up winning. Like, if he's there, and I'm not like anti-Kristen at all.
You know when Britney and Madonna kissed and they like didn't show Christina and they like cut to Justin Timberlake? I hope if Kristen wins, they cut to Prince William.
Like, that would be amazing.
Like,
I think there's a real possibility that like Kristen could win SAG. I think like right now I have her winning SAG. I think that if actors really love the performance, like that is great. But again, like most of these women that I have, like they're not going to be in Best Picture nominees at all. So it's just a weird situation.
That's why I think Alana's in, because I think Licorice Pizza is like high up in Best Picture. Like I have it I have it 6th, but like I think it's 5.
Yeah.
Because
I have it 5 too.
Here's the thing. We were talking about Andrew Garfield. Andrew Garfield keeps doing press, and I'm like, he keeps moving up his like the best actor thing. Will Smith keeps doing press, and he keeps moving down the best actor thing. When we started out this year, and I think Jacob was one of the first people I saw talk about it. Will Smith has that Darren Aronofsky thing on what is it, National Geographic. He has a memoir. He has that. Doesn't he have like a comedy special? Or
He has
something?
his first ever stand up is coming out.
He has that. Too. He obviously has King Richard. It was like Will Smith overslow, but then it was like he's doing these interviews.
He did the Fresh Prince like
thing
too.
In reunion or whatever. He kept doing interviews, and like it's the same thing with like Jada, where like they're sound bites and they're like viral, but I'm like, I'm talking about you for the wrong reasons. Like I understand a lot of the things he's saying, but they're like misconstrued, and I think that like turns away older people, which is like the people who liked King Richard. Do you know what I mean? Like so then it's like I have King Richard like as like kind of a lock for Best Picture, but I keep moving it down because I'm like, I just feel like it's just there and you're just like checking a box kind of. I don't feel like it's like I don't feel like it has the momentum it had when it first came out. And that's like the problem. Like it's the same thing with like A Star Is Born. When it came out, we were like, it's gonna win Best Picture. It's gonna win Screenplay.
I thought it was gonna win the Big Five. I actually thought it was going to win the Big Five when it came out.
Wow. And then like it won 1 Oscar and it was just song. Like
that's why like if people, and of course like Disney and Marvel are taking it seriously, if people take Spider-Man seriously as a Best Picture nominee, Andrew Garfield is one of the best parts of that movie. So they're going to see him and they're going to be like, oh, this was the guy who was so amazing in Tick, Tick, Boom, and start putting those pieces together if that's actually seen as a like real contender in some people's eyes. So I think that really, because he's doing most of the press for Spider-Man as well. That's what a lot of his conversations are about. And he's talking about, that, his own movie, everything like that. I think he could start moving up. Surprise at SAG, surprise at, I think I have him winning tonight. Surprise at BAFTA. I mean, he is British, and then keep that momentum all the way through. So I think he's definitely moving up very fast, in my opinion.
Jacob, what's your 10 in Best Picture?
My 10 in Best Picture, so I have right now Power of the Dog, Licorice Pizza, West Side Story, Belfast. I have Dune, King Richard, Tick, Tick, Boom, Coda, and my number 10 right now is Drive My Car, and then 11 is Spider-Man, and 12 is Being the Ricardos.
You don't have Don't Look Up?
Well, yeah, I do. I thought I said it. Yeah, it's my 8. I think I might have just skipped over it. But yeah, it's my 8.
Good call.
We can skip over it always. It's fine.
Sophia, what's your 10?
I have The Power of the Dog, West Side Story, Belfast, Licorice Pizza, Dune, King Richard, Don't Look Up, Coda, Tick, Tick, Boom, and The Tragedy of Macbeth. I won't let her go until I have to.
I love that. I have Power of the Dog, Belfast, Dune, West Side Story, King Richard, Licorice Pizza, Coda, Don't Look Up, Drive My Car, Tick, Tick, Boom.
Okay. So you guys have the same 10.
Yeah. I personally, and I don't mean this in a mean way because I want everyone to be nice to me. I watched Dune was the first movie I watched after I had my baby. And I did watch it in one sitting, but I just like was in such like not a paying attention mind space that I was like, I was so excited for this and like that was it. But then I rewatched it and I really liked it. But I think like Dune is kind of like King Richard, where we're just kind of like putting it in Best Picture. Like nobody's like really like passionate about it the way they were. I think Dune is obviously gonna like just blow away with like the crafts, but I think Dune is just in Best Picture because like it has to be. Like they're like, we can't give it like 12 nominations and it not get Best Picture or whatever.
Dune is this year's Mank. Where it's
like it's gonna get a bunch of like double digits, but like maybe
Because
visual.
Mank was
Mank
doing
was
a
like
lot
11 or like
of
10.
and it
I
was
think
doing a lot of
10.
like in the critics, it was getting like 7
Everything.
nominations and
Yeah.
missing Best Picture with
Yeah.
like a lot of the critics. And then it's like, well, if you're gonna give it 10 nominations, it has to
You
be
have
like,
to give it. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. I think with Dune, what will be interesting to see is how the director's branch responds, because
Mhm.
from what I've heard and like from what I've been reading, it's like everyone is just in awe of this movie and in awe of what Denis did, like how he accomplished that. I think so. I have it in. I think it's just like such a craft type of movie. It
Yeah.
could be like a Mad Max Fury Road. That's how I used to think of it, but I do think it's kind of fallen down a little bit for me. It's also kind of like the movie that it didn't make as much money as Spider-Man No Way Home, of course, like nothing did, but it was, I think, the movie that brought everyone back to theaters and like had this like big support around it. So I feel like I'm also kind of meh on it. I thought it was really pretty. I didn't really like connect with the story or the characters, but I wouldn't like be mad if it won awards. And I think it deserves a Best Picture nomination. It's just like,
I
yeah,
think
it's
like
fallen down for me.
if they had marketed it as Dune Part 1, I think
Mhm.
people would feel better about it. Like I just think a lot, because if you're not online, you didn't really realize like this movie isn't the full
Right.
book. Like when I told it to my parents, they're like, "What do you mean?" And I was like when you see it, it'll say Dune Chapter 1 or whatever, or like Part 1. And I was like, it's kind of just like setting up the sequel.
Yeah.
And they were like, "What?" And I was like, I mean, and then like my parents said the same thing that I kind of felt the first time I watched it, that like it got really interesting the last like 45 minutes, and then you were like, then it was over. But like like it's obviously really great. I just feel like people thought like if you weren't online, you thought it was going to be more story driven, and it was kind of like disappointing it wasn't. And like especially because Zendaya was not only at every press call, she was the focus of every press call, which I understand given like she won an Emmy, she has Euphoria, like she was in Spider-Man. Like I understand putting her at the front of everything. Like she's really well liked. But it was just like, then you watch the movie and she's in it less than Bradley Cooper's in Licorice Pizza. And you're like, what? Like, it was just like weird, especially like I read the book. So I kind of figured where they would like split it based on like the story. But it was just like weird the way she was like so heavily in all these interviews. Like I wouldn't have even given my time if I were her. Like she's too famous to waste her time. Like she is booked and busy. Like I'm excited for her for chapter 2 or whatever. But I just think like this movie might be doing better everywhere above the line if it had been labeled Part 1 marketing wise and like But it's really weird on IMDb. If you like click on anything, it says Part 1 now. And I'm like, I feel like more people would have seen it in theaters had they known it was Part 1. I don't know.
Yeah, the only two above the line I have it in is just director and screenplay. But I just think I have it in screenplay right now just because I feel like that was a very hard screenplay to adapt. And I feel like a lot of people are going to like understand how difficult it was and get it in based. Because I mean, adapted screenplay right now for me isn't like super deep. And so that's one to where I could just see it getting in just because it was called the unadaptable book and all that.
Yeah, like look at like David Lynch's movie. Like we all love David Lynch, but none of us like the movie. Like David Lynch doesn't even like the movie.
He doesn't like it, yeah.
So I feel like I feel like if people read the book, they're gonna know how hard it was to make that.
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
And that's like, what in a lot of their boxes they were sending the book with it. And so if people got it and read the book,
and we had time to read the book. Like I read the book during the shutdown because I was like,
yeah,
what
me
else
too.
am I doing? Like I've had it for years, but I was like, I guess I'll finally read
You're like, no, I have time.
You have no idea how many pictures that book was in before I opened it. It's like firm, like no like creases. Yeah. But now it finally looks like a little used. So nobody has. Wait, so Jacob, what was your 5 actress?
My 5 actress let me get back to it. I have Kristen Stewart 1. I have Jessica 2, Alana 3. I have Penelope 4 and Olivia 5.
Okay, so we just have. I have Gaga and you have Chastain.
Jessica.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Interesting. Do you think House of Gucci is going to get a bunch of nominations?
So it's not that I think it's going to get a bunch of nominations. I feel like that would be absolutely
Hilarious.
Unhinged. I feel like it's like Gaga, makeup, and then like maybe Jared Leto, but that's, you can like bleep me out for that.
To be fair, though, I don't judge people who say that. I think that's people that know the Academy, unfortunately.
Well, and I think like for Lady Gaga, like if you don't like the movie, I think you can admit that she's the best part of a bad movie, and that sometimes helps. It's also, the audience score on that is way higher than the critic scores. I mean, so there's that. And I think with House of Gucci, I feel like if it plays well to anyone, it's going to play well to actors because they are all doing the most in this. And I feel like
think knows what movie they're in the most. Like personally, I think Adam Driver is aware of what movie he's in.
Yes, I would agree with that because Ridley Scott is so serious. And he was the only one who stayed in the movie. Yeah,
I feel like everyone else. There are various parts of the movie that I'm like, do you know like where you are? Like, and I say this as the biggest little monster. I say this as my husband hates A Star Is Born. Imagine that. My husband thinks that Lady Gaga is the worst actress of all time. And I feel like there's parts of the movie she's like really calculated and like, all the crazy shit she's been saying. Like, I had a therapist on set. I'm like, what? But there are parts
she's like out weirding Jared Leto.
Exactly.
Jared Leto's in.
And I truly am like, what? I do think it could get in costumes also.
Oh yeah. That one too. Who do you have in your 5 for actress?
So, okay. I have Olivia, Kristen, Alana, and then my bottom 2 are wild. I have Jessica. And I have Nicole Kidman.
Oh, I don't think that's wild. Yeah.
I just
she was my winner when I saw that movie.
Kidman. Like she's Nicole Kidman. Even if that movie gets 0 nominations other than Nicole Kidman, I'm like, she's Nicole Kidman. Like, and it's a biopic. Like, I don't like it, but it's a biopic. It's Aaron Sorkin. I think it's like his worst made movie possibly ever.
It's bad. Yeah.
But he's really well liked. Like, I'm sorry this offends Jacob. I did not like Trial of Chicago 7 like at all, and I was really excited for it, and I just was so utterly like disappointed. But that movie was really well liked. Like it didn't win anything, right? It won 0.
Yeah, totally empty-handed.
Remember, the panic attacks? People were like, "What if it just wins Best Picture?" Like the last 20 minutes of the Oscars,
they were like editing in Best Picture,
and then it lost editing, and then it was like. Best Picture was announced before actor. They were like, we're coming back with Best Picture. And everyone was like, holy shit, it's going to be Trial of Chicago 7. Oh my God, that was wild. That was like 10 minutes was better than when Trump got COVID on Twitter. Like when Trump got COVID on Twitter, I was like, I'm staying up till 3 a.m. looking at jokes. But like when they announced Best Picture before Best Actor and then did not go to who we all thought was Best
and then the show ended just like that.
Just cut to black.
I love so much that he was awake and they were like, we're not letting you make a speech. Like they're like, no. Everyone was making jokes. They were like, he's asleep in bed. He's like 85. I'm like, he said he was awake. He was waiting. They wouldn't let him.
And then he was the only one who like said anything about Chadwick like the whole time.
No, they had that NFT or whatever.
That's true. They had the NFT.
But I don't think they actually said on the broadcast that it was Chadwick. I just think they said like before they went to a commercial break, they were like, we have NFTs available. Like
I still don't know what they were.
That was so messy. Just
who do you guys wish was an actress that is not?
I have two. I have like one who could theoretically get in some dream world, and that's Renate Reinsve for The Worst Person in the World. Love
that.
her. I'm going to share three actually. I would love Tessa Thompson to get in.
Me
I
too.
feel like
that's mine.
she's so good. Okay, well we can talk about that more when you say yours. And then my wild one is Virginie Efira, who plays Benedetta in Benedetta.
Oh my god, I love that. I love that.
It's the titular role.
Truly.
Literally.
And if film Twitter was cool, they would be backing her like they did with Carey Mulligan for Promising Young Woman, Rosamund Pike for Gone Girl. Like it's very much like that type of avenue.
It's definitely good for her behavior. It's like that's the thing about film Twitter. I just feel like if it's not a movie, like that's easily like Promising Young Woman was kind of difficult to see, like until it was like a premium rental or whatever.
Yeah.
But I feel like once it was a premium rental, like everyone got behind it. But I feel like Benedetta, everyone's been like, how do I see it? And I'm like, it's literally on iTunes. It's just like not like, oh my God. Yeah, because my friend was asking me how to see it after I was talking to her about it. And she was like, I just remember the nipple on the poster and my Catholic school being like, like what the fuck? But yeah, that would be so cool. I mean, there's like no way, but that would be so cool.
Yeah, those are like dream picks.
I love that. No, Tessa Thompson's definitely mine. I rewatched Passing and I think like, especially because Tessa Thompson's in like, she's in The Hammer Guy.
Thor.
Right? Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
That's right.
But I feel like she has like a really good like broad like audience to where like she's well known. I just feel like nobody's talking about Passing and it's like really upsetting. Like I was kind of hoping, you know how Loving like came out of nowhere and kind of got like nominations the morning of. We were like, okay, people saw it. I was kind of hoping it would play out like that. Like also with Ruth Negga, but like I just feel like nothing's happening with it, like anywhere.
Yeah.
Like even with critics, it's like weird because everybody really liked The Night House. So I'm like, can you guys talk about Rebecca Hall elsewhere? Like I don't understand.
That's so true. Yeah.
And
I still haven't seen the new edit because I know they have a different one from Sundance.
Oh really?
They like went back and like re-edited it.
Oh.
I didn't know
that's
that.
right. I feel like I remember hearing that.
I don't know. I just think like Passing overall is like, if you ask me any question of like what's not in your 5 that should be, I feel like a lot of my answers are Passing. And it's weird because it's a Netflix movie. Like I don't understand. And I feel like it's way more accessible than The Lost Daughter. And I say that as someone who ranked The Lost Daughter her #1 movie of 2021. Like I would much easily recommend people Passing than The Lost Daughter. And what about
Netflix always does this. Oh, what about Malcolm?
Get out of here.
Ban.
Either join or get off.
Okay. Eric with the facts. I talked to Rebecca Hall and she said there weren't any structural edits. It was largely added. Also, I just want to say this continues the Alexander Skarsgård terrible person universe. I'm very curious to see what the Northman adds to that.
I'm very excited for that. Whatever happens there.
Like I and also the dynamic of him and Nicole switching from like husband wife to mother son. Very interesting. But yeah, mine's definitely Tessa Thompson. Well, Ricky, Judas and the Black Messiah is ineligible for anyone listening. It's ineligible. Even though I would be okay if we were like, you know how Best Supporting Actor, which we'll get into next week, is like 7,000 people could get nominated. Like, I don't know who is the 5.
Yeah. Oh
it could be any different 5, any different day. But like, wouldn't it be hilarious if we were just like, you know what, it's too confusing. Let's just give Daniel Kaluuya a second Oscar. Like, I'd be okay with that. Like, I'd be fine. He could make another speech. It'd be fine.
Yeah. I mean, I think of the ones this year, like besides Bradley Cooper for Licorice Pizza, because I have to say that I would pick Daniel Kaluuya again. Like he's better than all of the ones that are up this year.
That's the thing.
I would pick Troy.
I do like Troy. No, you're right. I do like Troy.
I think about his reaction when she's like, "You can't have sex ever again." I think about it all the time because I'm like, did he not know that was the line before, or is he just like that good? Because he's like,
it's so good.
The photograph also ineligible. Jacob, who's your actress that's not in your 5 that you...
So the more realistic one that I will say, even though Disney completely butchered her name, which showed you how far they were going to go, is Jodie Comer. I thought she was fantastic. I still think she should be
I'm going to drop some news. I love The Last Duel. I didn't like it when I watched it. I liked it when I watched it, and I was like, it's just not awards worthy. But I think about it every day. It was awards worthy. I say this as someone who hates Matt Damon more than life itself. I have never... Okay. Coda is a Hallmark movie. Hallmark movies are eligible at the Oscars this year. Everything about The Last Duel, I don't know, maybe if it came out later or something.
Or if Disney didn't just
because I feel like Jodie's
butcher everything.
Every single Fox release they inherited, they were like, I'm just gonna dump it. But I watched The Last Duel twice in 48 hours because I rented it, so I had like the...
Yeah.
But I really liked it. I just think like maybe the timing was off or something. Or maybe Ridley Scott is canceling out Ridley Scott. I don't know
maybe.
If like and then we're just like talking about the louder movie, I guess. But I don't think there's many male directors that I would have watched that movie from, to be honest. Like I have really had it with like male directors talking about rape and like the way it should be discussed. Like, I just don't think that's a perspective I really care about. But, like, he handled it so beautifully. And, like, I just got the book. Like, I haven't read it yet. But, like, despite what someone said, the 3, like, storyline, like, perspectives are so well done. And I just, like, I don't know. And making Ben Affleck a comedian was, like...
He's so good in it.
And I don't like action movies. Like, I'm really not into them. But, like, that last, like, the duel itself, the titular duel, so meticulously shot. And, like, the sound is so good. And, like, Entertainment Weekly just tweeting about this movie. You know, but I don't think that movie could... Like, I was talking about this with... Ricky and Jacob, there are a lot of people that are up for Best Director that I think the movies they made could have been made by anyone and like been not the same, but like kind of the same result. I really don't feel that way about The Last Duel. I think like he made it and it's like a Ridley Scott movie. Like,
yeah. He's so good at staging the duel, right? Like action movies, period pieces, like that is, he's so good at that. Yeah.
I never felt like I was missing anything, whether he was showing the fight itself, the reaction of Jodie Comer, like, Ricky's giving us updates on the Golden Globes.
Oh my God. Well,
not Flea? Oh my God, I'm winning my poll or my pool already. Interesting.
I changed my vote last second.
Oh, Ariana DeBose won too.
I am just killing it, 2 for 2. And the 2, actually, everyone else said Flea except me. So,
I said I have Encanto.
I changed it to Encanto when I realized Flea wasn't in foreign. Because I didn't at first. I was like, oh, it can't be nominated for foreign. Them. And then I was like, oh, okay. When I saw it could be nominated, I was like, yeah, they're going Encanto.
I'm still gonna go with this outline I made. Sorry, guys.
No, you're good.
Y'all's 5 actors. Jacob, who do you have?
Actors. I have Will Smith first for now. I've got Tick Tick Boom, Oh, Tick Tick Boom. Yeah, the actor Tick Tick Boom. Andrew Garfield.
He's great.
My third is Benedict Cumberbatch. And then my fourth, I have Peter Dinklage, and 5, Denzel. I still see both of them
Denzel's your
getting in,
5?
Mhm.
Interesting.
I just in my mind, I still think Denzel's in. I think the top 5 are pretty solid because I don't think Leo's getting in. I don't think Joaquin's getting in, and I don't think Nicolas Cage is getting in. And then my next one is Bradley Cooper.
Jeremy
I think
Strong
Leo.
won.
Oh, yay!
Okay.
Yes, yay!
It
Kendall.
was so like I'm pretty sure the percentage was like 75% or something, but like still exciting. He's my birthday twin. I mean, Jesus too.
Oh my God.
But like
Jeremy Strong. More important.
Yeah, I think actor is the most boring category of this entire award season because I kind of feel like that 5 is locked up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Peter Dinklage has the
weakest.
Post Game of Thrones should have been nominated years ago, yada yada. And
also,
then I think
he is so good in Nip Tuck. If anybody ever bothered to watch Nip Tuck, he's been like a.
I've seen the Bradley Cooper episode of Nip Tuck.
I was gonna say, speaking of Bradley Cooper, which I'm so excited Jacob says he's his 6th. I went. So I live downtown in LA, so there's not a lot of like FYC ads downtown, but like where my brother-in-law lives is like every 5 seconds you see an FYC ad. And we were over there and I saw like 12 Nightmare Alley ads in a row, and they were all different. Like one was definitely a cinematography ad, one was only Cate Blanchett, but I saw like 4 Bradley Cooper ones and they were all different. And I was like, okay,
that's so exciting.
Like if we're doing that, like and I'm not doing it. Sophia, do you have the same 5?
Yeah, I have Benedict Cumberbatch first right now. I'm just kind of waiting to see if the Will Smith like industry flip happens. But yeah, I have the same 5.
Especially
I think
because Will
if
Smith
anyone's
missed for concussion, right?
Yes, yeah, he did.
And that was one of those things we all thought like he was like in, and then he wasn't.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that movie. I think like there is a possibility Leo gets in.
I do too. I put him on my prediction to win tonight because I don't think he can be ignored. 1, because he's Leo. 2, that movie is going to be so well received. Unfortunately, I'm sorry to everyone.
No, I know.
And 3, I am of the strongest opinion that Leo is a better comedic actor than he is dramatic actor, and I don't like him in this movie, which I'm so upset to say because I was so excited that first trailer when he was like hyperventilating. I was like, oh my God, here we go again, Mamma Mia. But he was very much himself in this movie to me. I don't know. He was like goofy, like the way he is in interviews and stuff, not the way I think he should have won an Oscar for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. And I wanted that kind of performance again where it was funny, but you were like, this guy is fucking depressed. Like he is like a manic depressive. Like, and I don't know. I was thinking that. Bradley Cooper is obviously my person who's not in my 5 that should be.
Yeah. I didn't list him because I knew you were going to, and that we could just talk about him then.
That last 5 minutes. I've never seen a last 5 minutes where I'm like, this guy's winning an Oscar. And the way that film Twitter has gotten behind Amy Adams and Leonardo DiCaprio, who, by the way, his nominations are so spread out from the start of his career to when he finally won an Oscar. I don't know why we were like, he's never won. Like, his first Oscar nomination, he was like, how old was he? Like 14?
He was
like,
young. Yeah, very young.
Like, Amy Adams had like 7 and like 5, like 7 years or something, like 8 years. Like, it was just, I don't know. I just feel like we all got behind Leo and like he got one for something he didn't deserve because we were like, he's Leo. I feel like Bradley Cooper, yes, his 8 include producing. I had a panic
Mhm.
attack that he was going to win an Oscar for Joker winning Best Picture.
That would have been the ultimate like bad joke, really, if that was his Oscar.
Like-
I was like, please don't. Not anything but Joker.
Like-
Like no.
Okay, I had an Oscar party. I'm going to send you pictures. I made cupcakes that said just not Joker.
Oh my god. That's so good. That was such a good year too.
It was such a good year. It was like
Yeah. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Parasite. Yeah. Ugh.
Talk about my mom came to visit and she was like filming us reacting to the wins, and she put her phone down during Best Picture because she was really like into it. And then I'm like, you should have filmed us because like that's
Yeah.
hilarious. It's like
That would have been
30
the one.
people in my apartment going nuts. Like ugh. Okay, so who do you have as your not in your 5, but you want them in for actor?
I have Adam Driver and Annette.
I love that so much.
It's just like I think the way that people talk about like Simon Rex and Red Rocket is how I think about Adam Driver and Annette. Like just a fully fearless, over the top performance, but really I think like holds the movie down. So I would love that. I mean, Annette is just, it's absolutely insane. But again, like you were saying with Best Picture winners, like you want to at least be able to like joke about them. That's how I feel about like any movie. And Annette has been probably my most like memed or tweeted about movie in a joking type of way this year.
So I don't remember what else I was going to see, but I changed my mind and saw Annette last second in a theater because they were giving out free raincoats. And then I got there and they were like, we're out of them. And I was like, I could have watched this on Amazon. I didn't like Annette and I really wanted to. I love the beginning, obviously. And I remember when I went to see it, my friend was like, you know, like there's a birth scene. And I was like, should I be worried? Like, so I think I was like 5 months pregnant. I was like, should I be worried? And then I sat down and it was an Alamo Draft House. So there's like a waiter or whatever. And he's like, you know, there's like a birth scene in this. And I was like,
oh my God.
Like, why does everyone keep telling me this?
You're like, I'm good.
I was like, my heart was like racing when she was giving birth. I was like, what's going to go wrong? And then it was just a puppet. But like, he's my favorite part of that movie, especially his stand-up part is just hilarious. But also when, I can't think of the guy's name.
Simon Helberg.
Yes. When he is like confronting him in the pool or whatever, I was like, you know, Leo being like, this is the best acting I've ever seen. I was like, he's so crazy. Like,
yeah,
especially when we get Adam Driver in interviews and he's so boring, gives like yes or no answers. I'm like, who's this guy? Like,
yeah. I
also just cannot believe he's in 3 movies and gonna go 0 for 3 nominations.
I know.
Like, do you think he started out the year like, I'm gonna get 2 nominations, and then the movies came out and he was like, I'm gonna get 0 nominations? Like,
I don't know if he thinks about anything like that really at all. Like, did you see the interview where they asked him like if he liked Lady Gaga's music, and he seemed to not know about it?
Yeah, okay, that, and then like one of the very first screenings, it was the first public screening of House of Gucci at the Academy Museum. They hug, and he does that like friend hug. He's like,
I'm gonna stick my giant arms out.
And I was like, immediately, I was like, there's no rumors like there were between like Bradley and Gaga, like Adam and Gaga, like 0 rumors. But it's wild when you watch the movie because I'm like, their chemistry is like there. It's just like, I feel like he's so far removed in real life, which is like,
I think so. Yeah.
I love him. I love him.
Me too.
I don't know if you've read about the cult connections with his wife or whatever.
Oh my God, no, I need to read about this now.
Is very
this like a
far
Demois thing?
Yes. It's very far removed, but like it's just really funny. I don't know. It's like his wife's stepfather or something. It's just
I'm
like
gonna look this up right after this.
I love it. Okay. Yeah, I think okay. Who do you guys have winning Best Actor? Benedict and then Will?
I have Will.
Yeah. I have Benedict. I just feel like I don't know what's happening with Will. Like if the industry flip happens, like I will definitely switch, but I just feel like being in a movie that's people are going to have to watch it because it's going to be nominated for a bunch of things, probably The Power of the Dog. And I don't think you watch that. If you watch that movie and you like it, odds are you probably like his performance. He also has been nominated before. He has SAG nominations, BAFTA nominations. It just like feels right. And he's campaigning too.
I feel like whoever wins SAG, then I'm going to say they're winning the Oscar. I feel like Benedict will win BAFTA no matter what.
Yeah. I feel that too.
Like,
although
no
if
matter
Andrew
what.
Garfield
Even
does,
if
that would be crazy.
that would be crazy.
Think Andrew has a good chance to win BAFTA. That's who I have, at least right now.
Winning BAFTA?
Yeah.
I just, how do musicals do at BAFTA?
I don't know. Well, it's hard too with like the juries and everything, like the new way of voting, how it'll go. Like, what if he's like someone who doesn't, one of them is one that doesn't get in? That would be so weird.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't put it past them entirely.
And I feel like they're still really weird about the Netflix thing because Netflix releases in Europe are so different than they are like here. No other Globe winners have been announced. Are you kidding? I'm telling you, they needed to contact someone that was funny to like tweet their stuff. Like not like a comedian, like someone who was funny on Twitter and just not announce it and have them announce the winners. Like, I just wish we would stop talking about them so then we could stop worrying about them. Like it has zero overlap, like literally. Most critics groups are bigger. Like,
well, like without the show, it's kind of like that was always the thing. It was like they were drunk. Like who was going to give a fun speech? Yeah. So it's like without that, it's no different than anything else.
It's so weird. Yeah, I think Benedict's winning as of right now. They're announcing presenters on Twitter. Yeah, weird. I just think like because I think Power of the Dog is winning director. And I don't think it's winning anything else. And I don't know how a movie wins director without anything else.
So do you
I have it winning screenplay as well.
Yeah, I do too.
What do I have? Hold on.
Because that's adapted. Like original's the category for screenplay that could get weird. Because like you have PTA for Licorice Pizza has never won, but like if Belfast wins picture, like original screenplay is probably going to Belfast. And then like Don't Look Up in some crazy scenario. Like
I guess I do have it winning adapted. But I could see if West Side Story doesn't win like anything else that they could just give it that.
Yeah, I mean, musicals like never win adapted screenplay. Yeah, that
was the thing that I was thinking. It's like
but Tony Kushner, I mean, they didn't give it to him for Lincoln, and that was a big thing. So I don't know. I think it's Jane's.
It would be really cool if they were like, "Fuck it, let's go Lost Daughter," but I don't see that happening. But that would be really cool. I also think Benedict's really like charming. And like, I don't know, maybe they could be like, fuck it and give it to Denzel Washington. I don't know. Or maybe we wake up and Nicolas Cage is nominated.
That's who I would love to see in there is Nicolas Cage.
And like everyone's talking about him after that round table where he was like just like so charming with literally every single person at the table. Like
I wonder if he's like the Willem Dafoe at Eternity's Gate nomination, like that very random one that comes out. You're like, oh,
and like,
especially because it is like, Nicolas Cage, and it's like he does so much different stuff to go back to do like Mandy, Prisoner of the Ghostland, like all of this crazy stuff to come back and do something like super.
And when does
super
that
nuanced.
movie come out where he plays himself?
Oh yeah! Oh my god!
Because he could be doing press for that, like as like
March or April.
I saw a trailer for
April 22nd.
Oh, that's annoying. If it came out,
I'm excited for it.
No, I actually like didn't watch the trailer when it was released, and then when I saw Licorice Pizza, they played an ad for it, and I was like, it actually looks really good. That and they showed the trailer for that Jason Statham one with Josh Hartnett, who I'm just like so excited to see the thing again. And I was like, this
Mhm.
movie looks hilarious. Like, yeah. But that would be really cool if he got in. But who would he knock out? Peter Dinklage?
Yeah,
I would guess so.
him or Denzel. I think are the two most vulnerable.
I
Of the
honestly
two.
think Denzel is a lock. I don't think he's.
I mean, he's Denzel playing Macbeth. He should be a lock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Drive My Car wins foreign. What a surprise.
Speaking of that, does anyone else have the director? I don't want to butcher his name, but having him be
him in my 5.
foreign director of the year. Yeah, he's my 5. He actually he kicks out Kenneth Branagh for me.
Oh, you have that too. I also have him missing. It like feels like it could happen because that branch is so like they.
Well,
I don't know. I mean,
Sophia know about them not liking actors as directors. Thanks to Bradley Cooper. Okay,
Bradley Cooper, Ben Affleck.
I have Kenneth 4, but I would knock him out. But so, do you guys have PTA in?
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I think I didn't love Belfast like everyone else is. I liked it. I thought it was really good. I think the direction is probably one of the weaker aspects of it. There were a lot of scenes that felt sort of like it was made for Disney Channel. Like the whole scene where they like throw stuff at his head, like the whole riot scene, I just felt was so like silly in a way that kind of tonally messed with the movie for me. And so that's why I think that's the one thing for Belfast where I'm like, I could easily see it missing because I think that's the weakest aspect of the movie.
Yeah. And they do that sometimes. Like they didn't put in like Martin McDonagh when 3 Billboards, that one, TIFF People's Choice, Green Book, director missed there. So it's like I could see it, right? Like the populist movie doesn't always align there.
Yeah, I think he's the weakest in the director, like the directors that keep repeating. I think he's the weakest out of them all. But
he just won the Globe for screenplay.
Belfast?
Yep.
Oh, Jason Sudeikis won.
That's good. We can pretend the Globes don't exist.
I didn't pick him at my pool. I picked Steve Martin.
Same.
That feels like something they would do.
I just feel like, but I feel like I kept forgetting there's no speeches, so it doesn't matter. Okay, so he won screenplay. Their screenplay is dumb though because it's like just screenplay. It's not,
and it also never aligns with the Oscar winner. Like usually it doesn't.
Okay, so then, but I just really think PTA is winning screenplay.
Oh, I would love that.
I do too.
Yeah, I mean, the category is just like so dull. Otherwise, it's like Branagh, Sorkin, McKay.
I wish Mass
playing the
would
hits.
win, but I feel like Mass is gonna go like 0 nominations.
I think
it's sad.
If I was in charge of Jason Isaacs' Oscar campaign, hear me out. I would have been like, Homeboy was the best part of the Harry Potter special. Like his interviews were so funny.
Yep.
And he had really specific callbacks and they accompanied them with the deleted scene footage. He's not doing any of that. I told Jacob, like, why hasn't anybody tweeted this? And that was the only tweet I saw referencing that he's in Mass and was in the Harry Potter special. Like, that movie just came out too early.
It needed a fall festival run too. Like it needed to go to Telluride.
Like
it needed something else.
Well, it played in London. It was at the London Festival, so that's why I hope that BAFTA will like rally around Jason Isaacs because I know they do like him.
Oh, that would be good.
He is like a very prominent like British actor, and I do know that the SAG, they did the SAG screenings and SAG was like packed for it. So that's why I'm hoping like SAG and BAFTA can like pull that back in. But I agree with original screenplay because behind Licorice Pizza for me, I've got Belfast and then King Richard and Don't Look Up. And then I still have Mass 5, but
I just have Mass to get SAG Ensemble.
Mhm.
That's what I
That
want.
would be such
I
an
think-
amazing like.
I feel like actors will really like it because they'll understand
Mhm.
like the difficulties behind it. It's just like I just want it to show up somewhere so I
Mhm.
feel better about it. It's just like it's not.
Yeah,
I honestly thought I would do better with critics, and it's like not even like
I know.
panning out the way I honestly really and I truly never try to think that TV carries as much weight, but I feel like The Handmaid's Tale was so bad that like it hurt when Dowd
Oh.
being talked about.
Oh
I just
no,
like
I didn't
'cause
watch
I
it,
feel
but
like
that's ugh.
it was we were like halfway through the season and I was like, I don't really want to keep watching it, but like there's Shiv won. Sarah Snook. How
My
cute.
wife Shiv.
I didn't pick Sarah Snook. I don't remember who I picked.
My TV predictions are always so bad because I just never pay attention to it as much as I do to
I
movies.
downloaded that serialized app this morning and I logged 190 TV shows. There's something
Oh my
mentally
god.
wrong. I don't watch as much TV now, but like
I did one TV show and I was like, oh, this is a lot for me.
Did you just copy everybody else's?
Oh,
Like-
for the predictions, I basically copied yours and changed like 3 of them. But for the serialized app, I put like one TV show on there and I was like, oh, that's enough.
Bojo.
I should do
Billy
that.
Backman.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So Benedict and Will. What if Andrew Garfield won?
I wouldn't be that shocked. I could see it happening.
He could carry over the Spider-Man
Mhm.
press into
Definitely. And he's so nice. Like he's just so
That's
likable.
the thing is like Will Smith keeps doing press and he's going backwards. Andrew Garfield keeps doing press and he's like going forwards. And I'm
Exactly.
Well, because
It's
it's got
wild.
like it's got the whole thing of like he did press for Tick Tick Boom, and he basically was like, "Guys, I'm not in Spider-Man. Those are fake." Like, and then just went
It's so
viral by saying
endearing.
he wasn't in
Mhm.
Spider-Man. And now it's like, "Oh, I can say I'm in Spider-Man." He did the whole like, "Oh, I went to go see the movie in a theater with Tobey Maguire and John
Iconic
Watts." Like,
theater he went to, by the way. There's this whole confusion when you buy tickets in Burbank of like which
Mhm.
AMC you're going to. Like nobody knows. Like there's one that's good. The other 2 are bad, but you just have to know the number.
Mhm.
But he
Mhm.
picked the good one. And I'm like, who bought your ticket? Like who bought it? Because
it
but
seems like he's
iconic.
like not campaigning in like the sense of like campaigning. It seems like he's just like being himself, which kind of makes him more charming in my opinion, where he's just out there like oh yeah, this is what I did, this is what I want to do, like this is what I am doing, like. And I think that could like easily lend its way because it doesn't feel forced. It doesn't feel like, oh, I'm doing this to win an Oscar. It's like, oh, I'm doing this because I want to, like, I want to come out and talk to you guys about this and that and whatever.
That's kind of like my thing with Kenneth. I feel like every time I watch an interview with him, I'm like, you really want an Oscar.
Mhm.
I feel like if PTA starts doing more interviews, like he's not ever gonna come off like that. Like, remember when he was like on Jimmy Kimmel and he was talking about like he asked him like how is working with Daniel Day-Lewis, like does he really stay in character? And he's like, you can't talk to him like even on a cell phone. He's like he used the flip phone, like, and he wasn't like a jerk about it. Like he was just like,
Yeah.
but like I feel like,
Yeah, he's so much like PTA is so much more well respected in the field than Kenneth Branagh. I know, like Belfast fans, I'm sorry, like it's just the truth. Like if they want to be cool, they will pick PTA. If they, love Belfast that much, they'll pick it. But like Screenplay, I can't see the WGA going for it. That seems nuts. I know it won Screenplay at Globes, but that also doesn't always translate to Oscar.
Yeah, it's just
like last year Sorkin won Screenplay.
Exactly.
And then Emerald Fennell started like picking it up with WGA. Yeah.
Because of The Crown, guys. Because of The Crown.
Plus, it's like there's this weird feeling with PTA that like he hasn't gotten one. We need to get him one. Where it's like Kenneth Branagh's about to break the record for the person nominated the most different categories, but I still don't feel like it's like his like legacy Oscar yet. Like I just don't have that same feeling for him.
And it's weird. It's weird to say this, but I also feel like he's in the Death on the Nile, and that could hurt him the way they're gonna like
the Death on the Nile,
shove it to the side and like not talk about it. And like I feel like that could be like the opposite of what Andrew Garfield has with like other movies going on, and like I don't know. But next week we're going to talk about supporting actor, supporting actress, and director. And I'm excited because my supporting actor lineup is like 7,000. It's basically every supporting actor from every movie.
It has to be right now.
Like the way that lead actors, like these 5 are nominated, but I just don't know what order. But supporting actors, like these men were in movies for less than 30 minutes. They're on the list.
Yeah.
I truly feel like there could be a world in which none of the majors like award shows line up. Like none of the nominees repeat. Like I don't know.
It could happen. And this would be the year for that. Can you imagine?
His stupid little white pants. Oh my God.
Love when he's like walking away in the white pants. It's so good.
I saved it. I haven't tweeted it yet, but it's like when Gaga's like, "Why do you look so good in those jeans?" I changed it to "Why do you look so good in those white pants?"
Whenever you press send, I will hit the retweet.
I'm just waiting for him to win something.
I know.
If he gets nominated SAG morning, it'll transpire.
That would be too good.
All right. Jacob, where can everybody find you?
You can find me on Twitter at tberry57. I have a little link tree. I'm going to be one of those people that goes to everything I've done. And tomorrow I will have my 2022 most
2010.
Yeah, 2010.
I hope The Whale is number 1.
It's top 10 for sure.
Oh, ouch. All right. Maestro's number 1.
If you know me, you should know what my number 1 is.
But stay tuned and click on the article.
Yeah.
Yes? Yeah.
Yes.
Sophia, where can everybody find you?
Yeah. Well, thank you guys so much for having me on. This was so fun. It's always good to talk about award season, and these categories are good ones, I think, to start with. You can find me on Twitter at Sophia_Sim, CIM. Always tweeting about Bradley Cooper and Oscar season. And you can find my podcast, which is called Oscar Wild, which I host with one of my good friends, Nick. You can find it on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you find your podcasts, and on Twitter and Instagram at Oscar Wild Pod.
Yes, love it. Especially your newest episode, Licorice Pizza. Love it. You
Michael
can find
Keaton
me.
won.
He won?
Oh my God.
I don't think I picked him.
What did he win
God.
for? What is he? What is he in?
Television, motion
it's
picture.
a Hulu show.
Oh,
I almost picked him, but I was like, I
sick.
picked Steve Martin for the same reason.
I thought about him as a random one too.
God. All right. You
Kate
can find
Winslet
me
won.
and my. That's super obvious. I don't think. Did anybody not pick her? I don't think so.
I want to see like if people winning are picking or like are tweeting about their win or anything. It seems like I'm sure it's pretty quiet.
That's the thing is like, what's the payoff of like, that was like my biggest thing is I feel like a lot of the people I were picking were like new winners, which like normally the HFPA does like one person they want to crown as like a new thing. And I'm like, there's no payoff. Like nobody's seeing it. Nobody's tweeting about it. Like it's kind of weird. Anyway, you can find me on Twitter, Kins Vanunu, just sending dumb tweets about Bradley Cooper, still Vox Lux, obviously A Star is Born. I don't know. Sometimes baby pictures. Just stay tuned. But we'll be back next week with director and the lead actor or supporting actor and actress. So come back next week, guys. All right. Peace out, everyone.